all to the 245th edition of Saturday webinar series organized by Managed Center of Innovation and Agripreneurship. Managed CIA is an agribusiness incubator established under the National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, Hyderabad. As a center of excellence, we are committed to empowering agri startup through mentorship, funding, capacity building, and national level network platforms. Today, we are gathered for an important conversation around Startup India support for MSME entrepreneurs. The micro, small, and medium enterprises play a vital in India's economic development, job creation, and innovation. Through target support systems like Startup India, numerous entrepreneurs, including those in agri domain, are achieving scale, impact, and sustainability. To guide us through this session, we are joined by two distinguished speakers who have been actively involved in the startup ecosystem and MSME development. We are all have them with us today to share their insights on government startup support ecosystem, funding opportunities, registration management, and path forward for inspiring MSME entrepreneurs. So let's now welcome our first speaker. To introduce our first speaker, I would like to invite my colleague, Ms. Maitri.
Thank you, Sonam. Good morning, everyone. I'm Maitri from Team Manage CA. We are honored to introduce Mr. Mantri Sai Naresh, a dedicated rural entrepreneurship and community development professional with an over of 9 years of impactful experience in driving sustainable growth in rural economics. Throughout his career, he has played a vital role in promoting micro enterprises, facilitating MSME cluster development, and fostering rural entrepreneurship across diverse regions. His expertise spans the preparation of business plan, value chain enhancement, drafting standard operating procedure, and strengthening the non-farm sector. With hands-on experience in startup incubation and product management, he has successfully guided aspiring entrepreneurs, supported innovative ventures, and implemented marketing strategies tailored to a unique dynamics of rural markets. His unwavering commitment to empowering communities and enabling inclusive development continues to inspire many in the development of entrepreneurial ecosystem. We are glad to have you here with us, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maitri, for the long introduction. Thank you so much. Shall I start the presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are sharing the PPT.
Okay, okay.
Now PPT is visible.
Yeah, the PPT is visible.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Naresh. I'm a rural development professional and incubation ecosystem professional. I am a serial entrepreneur and I established two agri-based enterprises. And now, from the past 9 years, I was in the incubation ecosystem. So today, me and additional speaker, Dr. Tanvi Gupta ji. So we both are going to present, the schemes are available for the agri startups and food startup in agriculture domain. So let's start. Next slide. Yeah. So basically, what we are presenting today. So today we are going to present different aspects of the agriculture schemes and food processing scheme to support to the MSMEs. The first is Agri Infrastructure Fund, then Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure, ENAM, and PMEGP, PMFME, Startup India, Stand Up India, and the Seed Fund Scheme, along with the Spurti scheme of funds for regeneration of traditional industries. Suppose if you are working in the domain of agri, domain that is called artisanal communities, handloom and handcraft, this scheme is especially for you. Along with, we can discuss about what are the basic application documents are required to start, avail these benefits. So along with that, we can discuss about the digital agriculture mission. So these are the broad aspects we both are covered in this presentation. So next slide. Yeah. So basically the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. So the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund is started in the year of 2020. And basically the main objective of this infrastructure fund to support the FPO startups or any other SSG FPO working in the agri domain and agriculture cooperatives. So they will give you the fund for the post-harvest infrastructure. So in order to minimize the waste reduce of the farm produce, you have to construct the different farming assets, including cold storages and warehouses and sorting and grading and primary processing centers. This scheme is especially for the cold storage, warehouse, sorting and grading, these aspects. So for this support, you can availing up to 2 crores of investment from you can availing through the banks only. They have a portal called Agri Infra portal, but you can go through the bank. You can ask for the bank and bank manager. You can get it from the bank only. So one of the best thing of this scheme is covered by the CGTSME, Credit Guarantee Trust Scheme. And also you can get a 3% interest subvention. So one of the major the benefit of the scheme is you can get a 3%. This scheme is not get any back-end subsidy or something, but you can get a subsidy on the interest part. So that interest will be provided by the NABARD. So this is suppose if you are availing the 1.5 CR loan from the bank at the rate of 10% of interest. So 15 lakh you have to pay annually as an interest rate. But that 3% interest subvention you have to pay only the remaining part. Suppose 15 lakh minus 4 lakh 50,000. So you have to pay only 11 lakh 50,000. Suppose the tenuring period of 7 years. So every year you will get a 4.5 lakh of the interest amount. What is 4.5 into 7 years? So that is 31.5 lakh you will get as a subsidy, like kind of subsidy. So you can get an opportunity, and this is the scheme. And also the maximum loan repayment tenure is 7 to 10 years, because this is if you are availing 1.5 CR, 2 CR as a loan for the long term in order to build the warehouses or storage, grading and primary processing centers. So this is for 7 to 10 years, and maximum period is 6 months and 2 years based on the class pro. You can get a moratorium period also. It's all depends upon the bank and bank manager. So because this is available to the bank only. And one important thing is for this scheme, Agri Infrastructure Fund, you have to contribute your margin money. So margin money is more important, and that is also 10 to 25% is the margin money. And again, so it depends upon the bank manager perspective, because if bank manager tell you to only 10% you can pay, 10% is your money, and remaining 90% you will get it from the bank loan. And if your bank manager told you to contribute 15% and remaining 85% will be given by the banks. So one of the most important key aspect of this infrastructure fund scheme is this fund is covered under the CGTSME. So Credit Guarantee Trust Scheme for the MSMEs. So this loan is covered under the CGTSME, right? So next slide. So another scheme is Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure Scheme. Actually, this scheme is started in the year of same 2001 and 2 under the name of Gramin Bandaran Yojana. But after 2013, the scheme is revamped into the integrated scheme for the agriculture marketing. In 2013, they again revamped the scheme. And initially, this scheme is only for the construction of warehouses in rural area. But after 2013, the Ministry of Agriculture, so they want to add some additional points. Suppose initially they go for the godown. Now they are providing with the cold storages, refrigeration, and grading, grading related, and sorting and packaging units and drying platform. Suppose if you want to start a startup in domain of solar dryer, if you want to use a solar dryer, freeze dryer for the agriculture produce in order to drying techniques, so you can availing this loan. And also you have to create the value chain infrastructure. Suppose if any entrepreneur or MSME or any FPO or any cooperative registered under the Society Act or Cooperative Act by the state norms, if you want to create a value chain of the agri produce, so you can availing this marketing infrastructure facility. And again, in the previous we discussed about the Agri Infrastructure Fund. Agri Infrastructure Fund doesn't have any subsidy, but Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure Scheme, so this is have a subsidy facility. And for the general, and this also bifurcate into 2 type of subsidies. So if you have a general category, you will get a 25% subsidy. If you are in SC, ST and women entrepreneur, or you are from the northeast region or hilly region, except So you will get a 35% of the project cost. So this is also for up to 2 crores, and you will get a subsidy from the NABARD, right? And here also you have to contribute the margin money. So 20 to 25% is the margin money. This is the fixed margin money. In the previous slide, we are discussing about the margin money is 10 to 25%. As per the bank and bank manager, and you are willing to give a 10% or 15 or 25. But here you have to pay, you have to contribute yourself for 20 to 25% is the mandatory. So both are working for the infrastructure support for the agri startups or FPOs or SSG or individual entrepreneurs who want to do something in order to build the rural infrastructure in agriculture domain. You both these loans are helpful. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so the the scheme is National Agriculture Market. So basically, this scheme is launched in the year of 2016. So 2016, basically this scheme is implemented by the SFSC, Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium. So that is the SPV body formed by the ministry. So they are implementing this scheme. So basically the main motive of this scheme is to creating the online portal for the, see, every entrepreneur in the nowadays, they are facing the major issue is the marketing. So everyone will create a product portfolio and product chain and everything. But end of the day, you have to sold your product in the market. You have to get a revenue in order to sustain the enterprise. So for that, for the agri produce and agri marketing, the SFSC created the platform that is eNAM platform, and you can get it as a website. eNAM website is available along that, and you can download as an Android app also. So basically, who can register for this eNAM platform? So the farmers or SSG, women entrepreneurs or FPOs, and even traders and commission agent, any buyers who are into who want to sell their agri produce, so they can go this platform and register yourself, and you can trade by using this platform. And this platform also facilitating you the payment gateway facility also. Whenever you sell the product, you will get the amount from this platform. So this is the one of the best kind to start the marketing your agri produce. Yeah, next slide. So one of the best scheme I see in the recent days, that is the PMFME, because previously Maitri introduced myself he was for the 9 years as agri. So when I was working in the 2021 for the women entrepreneurship program at one particular region, tribal region, so I mobilized almost 24 lakhs for the 18 women entrepreneurs, tribal women entrepreneurs, in order to set up their micro enterprises. So I raised 24 lakhs as a collectively for them through this PMFME scheme. Basically, Prime Minister formalization of micro food processing enterprises. So the name itself is a micro food processing. So whenever you want to start a small scale food processing unit, suppose if you want to millet process, or if you want to any house, some normal kind of food products. So this scheme is available for you. And for this scheme, you can get up to 10 lakh is a loan, and you have to contribute 10% of your margin money. So here margin money means, as an entrepreneur, you have an accountability, and you have you have to contribute yourself. End of the day, that is your idea, and you have to invest. So banks are, even the scheme guidelines shows that you have to contribute 10% is that money. And again, here the individual persons they can get, and the startup who are working in the agri and food processing domain, they can get. SSG, women's they will get, and FPO they will get, and cooperatives, agriculture cooperatives, they will also they will get the money. So up to 10 lakhs, and you will get a 35% is the back-end subsidy. So suppose after getting the loan, you will get a 35% subsidy. For SSG, each person will get. For SSG, you will get each person is 40,000 per member for this scheme. Suppose if but maximum limit is 10 lakh. And eligible units, basically the processing units in the micro sector and value chain. Suppose I can give you an example of one of my co-incubator of Atal Incubation Center in SK Sri Krishnadevara University. Dr. Sharmila Mane, maybe managed people will aware of that because she's also incubated there. So she got an PMFME loan for her enterprise Pure Me Organics. So Kolhapur based startup, and she got a loan also for the PMFME scheme. So we established the enterprise. So basically the loan repayment period is 3 to 5 years. Earlier the infrastructure fund or marketing infrastructure, they have a long-term loans and 1.5 CR, 2 CR, they have the payment period of 7 to 10 years. But here the PMFM loan you have to pay within 3 to 5 years, and the moratorium period. I think my voice is very low.
Sir, participants are saying, but I think it's good only. You may just increase your volume.
Actually, I connected through my phone internet. I think my 50% internet is gone. Yeah.
Continue the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the SSG, but one aspect is for the individual FPO and startup or agri entrepreneur, you have to pay it in 3 to 5 years. The loan tenure, but for the SHG women, suppose if any woman entrepreneur, suppose you are a MSME facilitator, you are a incubation ecosystem professional who are promoting the women entrepreneurs in the ground level, so that you are availing the loan from the woman itself only. So for that women, they have 5 to 7 years. So another 2 years of exemption is available for the women entrepreneurs in the special SHG. So you can availing the loan under SHG name, right? So this is all about PMFME, and every initial actually in the 2020 during the launching of this scheme, the Government of India and Ministry of Food Processing, right? So they are come up with the ODOP, one district, one product. So every district have a unique product. Suppose I am basically belonging from the Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh, so East Coastal region. So during my Srikakulam district, they selected for the cashew. So if you want to establish any enterprise related to the cashew processing unit, they can give you the loan. But after 2 years or 1.5 year, after 1.5 year, they completely changed. Suppose if you want to any number of units, suppose I want to start a banana chips processing unit, I want to start some other any millet processing unit, I want to start a tomato value chain unit, I want to start a mirchi processing unit. So you can get a loan, PMFME. So after 1.5 year, they changed. Now, if you want to availing start a food processing unit, you want to do something in the food processing sector, go to every district, you have a DRP. DRP means district resource person. So you can get it his or number from that PMFME portal. You can call to that particular resource person and you can ask, sir, what type of units I can establish in the particular district. Please tell me, I can apply through this scheme. So this scheme within the 3 or 4 months you can done everything. So आपको मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा within 3 or 4 months में did it. So this is all about the PMFME scheme. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So one of the prominent and promising the scheme in India, that is the PMEGP. So I heard this scheme from my entrepreneurial days and even my post-graduation days. So PMEGP, Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program, and right now this scheme is availed, and the PMME scheme is launched in the year of 2008. The main motive of the scheme is to create the employment opportunities in the MSME sector. So they can providing the subsidy, and during the initial launching of the scheme, you will get if you are manufacturing concern, you will get up to 20 lakhs. And if you are a trading and service sector, you can get 10 lakhs. But recently they changed their norms. Now in the 2025 onwards, now the PMEGP increasing their limit 20 lakhs to 50 lakhs. If you are the manufacturing sector, you can evaluate 50 lakhs. If you are a service or trading sector, you can evaluate 20 lakhs as a loan amount. So for this, in order to evaluate the PMEGP loan, so the nodal agency the operating the PMEGP is two things. One is KVIC, Khadi Village Industry Commission, and the second one is Choir Board. So these are the two nodal agencies are looking the scheme. So if you want to availing this opportunity, you may go through the bank and avail this loan. Otherwise, every district you have a DIC, District Industry Center. So some in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, DIC is there, and other state maybe they call for another name. But industry center is there. You can go to the industry center and talk to the joint director, additional director, any person. So for the availing this loan, the maximum project cost is 50 lakhs for manufacturing and 20 lakhs for the trading and service activity. And this loan includes both term loan and for the machinery along with the working capital. So the basically interest of this loan is depends upon the. So basically the lending rate is 9 to 11% and repayment period is 3 to 7 years is the period. And one of the best thing of this scheme is, so if you see about the infrastructure scheme or marketing infrastructure scheme, you have to contribute yourself. That owner contribution is 20 to 25% or 20 to 10 to 25%. But here you have to, if you are a category of general category, you have to contribute 10%. If you are a SC, ST or woman entrepreneur or Northeast region, you have to contribute only 5%. Even the education is also not required. Suppose if you are availing the for an example of the manufacturing concern, you are availing below 10 lakh of loan, so it doesn't require any educational background. Okay, if you are going more than 10 lakhs, so you need a minimum education of 8th standard is a mandatory. So you have to show your educational documents in order to availing the loan, right? And that's it from the PMEGP. Yeah. Second. Next slide. Yeah. So actually, I worked for the non-farm sector. So non-farm, the Ministry of Rural Development, they are running the Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program, and also NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Mission. They are running the NRLM CDP, Cluster Development Program. Same like MSME department, Ministry of MSME. So they launched the scheme called Spurti. The complete name is a Scheme of Funds for Regeneration of Traditional Industries. See, India is a devastating country, and India में बहुत सारी चीज है. Lot of crafts are combined with the rural economy. So a lot of artisans are working in the different crafts in different sector. Every state, every districts in India, they have unique set of crafts. Like for bamboo crafting or handloom or handcraft, coir-based products, agri, herbal, different kind of wooden-based products. So different kind of artisans are in rural India. So for that, so the Ministry of MSME, so they launched this scheme in 2005, but later on 2014, they revamped this scheme. The main agenda of this scheme is to the persons who are artisans working in the traditional sector, and traditional artisans do want a collective power. So everyone knows about FPO, Farmer Producer Company, for the farmers. So now this scheme is for the non-farm. So non-farming. So the persons who are working in the different handloom, handcrafts, they can start one producer collective. Suppose 300, 200 artisans in a particular area, they can start one collective enterprise. So suppose I can give you an example of, I worked for one cooperative, one producer company, that is Kolhapuri Leather and Chappal Works Producer Company Limited. So that company consisting of 300 women. As a shareholder, they will run the enterprise. They will produce the product, and they will sell the product as a collectively. What are the profits they received, they can distribute it as equally. So this is the collective enterprise. So Spurti is giving the collective, and marketing and compatibility, that is the one, and improving the technology side and the these and skills and design interventions. See, in the Spurti, you have two type of interventions. So one is the soft intervention, one is the hard intervention. Suppose if I want to talk about the hard side, they will establish a CFC. So after completion of the collective enterprise and even after registering the enterprise, so we can start with the CFC, Common Facility Center. Then we can procuring the machineries in the Common Facility Center and the raw material. These are the hard intervention. For the soft intervention, you will get a training on visioning exercise or to get the how to run a enterprise. So you will get a training and the design, especially what are the designs, unique designs we can produce. So these are the soft interventions they covered in this scheme. So targeting sectors are handicrafts and handlooms and khadi village industries in the rural area and coir based and agri based products. So currently nodal agencies are KVIC, I already discussed, and the coir board and integrated handloom development centers and some NGOs. So for this Spurti scheme, they have multi-layer approach, nodal agencies and the technical supporting agencies and implementing agencies. So for the nodal agency is the KVIC, coir board or some integrated handcraft center, handloom centers. So for the technical agency right now, they have multiple technical agencies who support and implement this scheme along with the IA implementing agency. So NIMSME or CFTRA, Central Food Research Institute, Mysore, or NABCON Consulting, or EDI, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, or Foundation for MSME Clusters. These are the different kind of technical agencies are working to hardly implementing this Spurti scheme. As a part of, if I want to talk about the implementing agency, maybe local NGO. So local NGO, they come and they can start this collective enterprise on behalf of artisans. They are the implementing agency. Even if you are a SHG, suppose SHG is consisting of 15 to 20 women. Suppose 10 SHGs come forward and we want to start one artisans based production collective. So they can avail in this scheme. So next slide. So see, heritage clusters, in order to availing this scheme, so you need a more than 1,000 artisans for the heritage cluster. So 500 to 1,000 artisans for the major cluster, and mini cluster, that is 250 to 500 artisans are the mini cluster. So financial support for heritage cluster, this is a 5 crores and up to 3 crores for the major clusters and up to 1.5 CR for the mini clusters. So the basic thing for the Spurti scheme is this is completely a government grant. Earlier, PMFME or PMEGP, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund or Marketing Fund, those schemes are all are loans. So you have to, end of the day, you have to do the business, you have to pay. But this scheme, the government will providing the grant in order to collective support and collective in order to establish the collective marketing and collective production and collective enterprise. So these are the different financial support based on the artisans collective they can providing you. And for the key intervention, I already discussed about the soft and hard intervention. For the hard intervention, you can establish the CFC and skill development, design and product development, and you can go through the marketing and support and digital e-commerce support. So basically, this scheme is moreover to enhance the income of the rural artisans. End of the day, artisans abhi 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees earn kar rahe for the implementation of this scheme is particular area. So they will get almost 300 into the double 600, 700, 800. So that is the main motive of this scheme, and strong collectives and improving the product quality. So these are the different, scheme from the Spurti. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, Stand Up India scheme. Again, this scheme is launched in the 2016. Ministry of Finance, Minister of Finance and SIDBI both is launched the scheme, and this scheme is for the especially for the women entrepreneurs and SC/ST, the categorized people. So the loan is consisting ranging from 10 to 1 crore along with the margin money. Yes. So the bank can be give the financial up to 75% of the project cost, including the both term loan and capital loan. And this loan is also covered by CGTSME scheme. Basically, CGTM is not a loan. It's a guarantee support provided by the government of India. Right. So So you can availing this scheme. Basically, this scheme is for the greenfield projects. So if who want to start as a new, in order to set up their enterprise as a new greenfield project in the manufacturing or service or trading, including the agriculture or allied sector, you can availing this loan. And the minimum age is required is 18 for this avail loan. Maximum is 35 years for the greenfield project. Yeah. This is all about Stand Up India scheme. I think Dr. Tanvi ma'am will start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I
Okay,
continue?
Yeah, ma'am, just a minute. Yeah, so thank you, sir, for that valuable session where you shared important scheme like AIF, AM, ENAM, PM, FME, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, Spurti, Stand Up India scheme, and how we can get the loan through this scheme. So participants are requested to keep their question in chat box. We will take the question after second speaker's presentation. So it's time to invite our second speakers. For that, I would like to invite Ms. Gina.
Thank you, Sonam. It's my honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Tanvi Gupta, a seasoned academician, passionate educator, and visionary entrepreneur. With over 14 years of experience in teaching management students, Dr. Gupta Associate Professor at the New Delhi Institute of Management, where she also held the role of Dean of Quality Assurance. She is the founder of Young Minds EdTech Advisory LLP, an initiative focused on skill development for students. She also serves as the convener of the Delhi chapter of Mandras Foundation and co-convener of the MSME Development Forum, reflecting her commitment to entrepreneurship, innovation, and social impact. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Tanvi Gupta. It's over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for such a generous introduction. And before continuing with my address, I would like to congratulate the entire team of Manage for conducting so many webinars with such insightful sessions. So congratulations to the entire team. And of course, Mr. Sai Naresh Mantriji, it's been a wonderful address with you sharing such in-depth insights about the various schemes. Now, continuing the same platform, I would like to first talk about the Credit Guarantee Trust Fund for MSEs, which is the micro and small enterprises. So the major objective of bringing this fund into picture was to facilitate collateral-free loans for micro and small enterprises, particularly in manufacturing, services, agri-allied activities, and trading. Now, when we talk about some of the key features here, like what all is covered under this fund, if we talk about the micro enterprises, and they can avail a loan up to rupees 10 lakhs with 85% guarantee coverage. Referring to women, SC/ST, Northeast region, hilly areas, agri and allied sectors, there's a loan availment of up to rupees 5 crores with 80% to 85% guarantee coverage. Now, when I refer to the other general MSCs under this particular scheme, there could be a loan up to rupees 5 crores, followed by 75% guarantee coverage. Referring to the retail trade and educational institutions, of course, it is very case specific and there are certain conditions required. There could be a loan up to rupees 5 crores with 50% to 75% guarantee coverage. Now, further coming to the eligibility criteria here as to who all can avail this scheme, it is applicable to new or existing MSCs as per the MSME Act, and there's no requirement for any income or education criteria here. Further, it supports term loans, working capital, and composite loans. Now, some of the eligible sectors, as I'd earlier also said, because the objective is very clear, it includes the manufacturing, services, retail trade, and educational institutions with certain conditions or the specific requirements. Now, this can be applied through banks, of course, and non-banking financial companies which are registered with CGT MSC. Now, banks apply post-sanction, and when I talk about post-sanction, it is to ensure that the money is being, directed for the right purpose. Some of the post-sanction activities include monitoring loan utilization, security verification, compliance checks, regular audits, risk management, fraud detection. Can we move to the next slide? Yes. Now referring to Startup India Seed Fund Schemes, which runs in partnership with Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Incubators. The objective behind bringing the scheme into picture was to support early stage startups in agriculture and other sectors. Now, the eligibility here are the startups. The startups that are eligible to avail this scheme are DPIIT registered. Then there are startups with an MVP or prototype in place. When we talk about the support provided, there could be seed funding up to rupees 20 lakh. Now, one thing which is very noticeable here is, other than the monetary support which is being provided under this scheme to these startups, there are other kinds of supports which can be availed by the ones who get this particular fund or who are able to avail this scheme. It's the support in terms of incubation, mentoring, and bringing in investor connections. So again, when we talk about the application process, it's quite simple. One can apply with the Startup India Seed Fund portal and choose an RKVY host incubator. Next slide. Now we'll be talking about some of the very basic application documents that would be required for availing the schemes. When we talk about the application and identity documents, it's very simple, a bank's loan application form or a customer request letter, but it has to be duly filled and signed. Of course, the promoters need to submit their passport size photographs, the KYC in terms of a PAN card, Aadhaar, voter ID, or a driving license, and a driving license. Now, when I talk about the address proof, of course, these documents can serve Aadhaar or driving license or passport or voter ID or electricity bill in case this is a single resident, who's applying. And if there's a business office, then one can submit the electricity bill, property tax receipt, and the registration certificate. Now, there has to be an entity proof also which needs to be submitted. For a company, it is the certificate of incorporation along with articles of association. For a partnership firm, it has to be registration certificate with the registrar of firms. For MSMEs, it has to be Udyog Aadhaar or DIC registration. Now, when I talk about the financial documents, it has to be the last 3 years ITRs if available, last 3 years audited balance sheet, of course, in case available, and the GST registration certificate if available. Further moving to the basic application documents, the land and property documents which are required include land ownership. If the land is with the person who's applying for this loan, then it's title deed or lease deed. If it's a leasehold property, then there has to be an NOC to the mortgage from the lessor. If it's local authority permissions, building layout, sanctions, etc. are also required depending upon the case. Now, when we refer to the financial track record, so please understand these are some of the very basic documents, and many a times these nitty-gritties get ignored and they can be easily made available if one pays attention to it. So referring to the financial track record, of course, the latest 12 months bank statements, if available, existing loan statements, repayment track records, and the net worth statement of promoters. Now, if I get company specific, it is ROC search report for companies and KYC of all partners and directors. Again, if it is a project specific domain, then there has to be a detailed project report. Next slide. Yes. Can we move to the next slide? So here we are referring to the Digital Agriculture Mission, which was introduced in the year 2024. So this is designed as an umbrella scheme to support various digital agricultural initiatives. These include creating digital public infrastructure, DPI, implementing the Digital General Crop Estimation Survey, DGCES, and supporting IT initiatives by the central government, state governments, and academic and research institutions. So the scheme is basically built on two fundamental pillars, which is Agri Stack, also popularly known as Kisan Ki Pehchan, and the Krishi Decision Support System. Additionally, the mission includes soil profile mapping, which we'll be talking about later, and it aims to enable farmer-centric digital services to provide timely and reliable information for the agricultural sector. So now coming to the Agri Stack, Kisan Ki Pehchan, why is it designated as a farmer-centric digital public infrastructure? Because it streamlines services and schemes delivery to farmers. Now it comprises three main components: farmers registry, geo-reference village maps, and crop zone registry. So when I talk about the farmers registry, it is under Agri Stack. Farmers will be given a digital identity, which is like a farmer ID similar to Aadhaar. Now, when we refer to the geo-reference village maps, farmer ID will be linked to the state's land, the records, demographic details, family details, etc. And the third aspect is the crop zone registry. The crop zones by farmer will be recorded through mobile-based ground surveys, that is digital crop survey to be conducted in each season. The implementation of AgriStack is progressing through partnerships between the center and the state governments, with 19 states having signed MOUs with the Ministry of Agriculture. Pilot projects have been conducted in 6 states to test the creation of farmer IDs and the digital crop surveys. The 6 states are Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Haryana, Punjab, and Tamil Nadu. Now, further moving to the Krishi Decision Support System, it will integrate remote sensing data on crops, soil, weather, and water resources into a comprehensive geospatial system. So there are various things which are included in this pyramid, which includes the geospatial data and weather or satellite data. There's drought and flood monitoring, there's groundwater or water availability data, and the modeling for crop yield and insurance. Can we move to the next slide? And of course, you can see the outlay here, rupees 2817 crores for this. Okay, so when we refer to the soil profile mapping, under this mission, detailed soil profile maps on a 1:10,000 scale for approximately 142 million hectares of agricultural land have been envisaged, with 29 million hectares of soil profile inventory already being mapped. Further, under the Digital Agricultural Mission, the DGCES will be used for crop cutting experiments to provide precise yield estimates, enhancing agricultural production accuracy. Now, there's, of course, there's ample space for employment opportunities to about 2.5 lakh trained local youth and Krishi Sakhis. The digital crop surveys, collection of ground truth data of remote sensing. The mission is expected to create direct and indirect employment in villages. Further, by leveraging modern technologies like data analytics, AI, and remote sensing, the mission will improve service delivery for farmers, including streamlined access to government schemes, crop loans, and real-time advisors. Can we move to the next slide? Yes, so these are some of the key aspects related to DAM, Digital Agricultural Mission. I'd already spoken about the farmer ID and digital infrastructure. So it's more like an Aadhaar, and it's, it's basically connected to all the land records, livestock ownership, crop zones. So you look at the card and you can just give. Yes. So the digital identity will be linked to all these records. The goal is to create a comprehensive digital profile for each farmer, which I agree is extremely commendable and innovative for the government to think about. Can we move to the next slide? And under DAM, because I think probably it will take another webinar, because DAM further has got a number of schemes. So it doesn't have a single or direct eligibility criteria. Its various components and associated schemes will likely have their own specific requirements. But generally, the mission is designed to benefit all Indian farmers, making digital services and information accessible to everyone. Say, for instance, we are talking about the PM Kisan scheme, which is linked to the digital agricultural mission, has specific eligibility criteria for farmers to receive income support. Now, other schemes under the mission may be focused on providing access to credit, insurance, market information. Again, the eligibility requirements might be different, which might include the land holding size, crop type, participation in specific programs, etc. Can we move to the next slide? Yes. So when we are referring to the key technologies and initiatives under this scheme, the mission will leverage technologies like AI, blockchain, IoT, and drone technology too to improve farming practices. And I'm sure this is really going to bring a lot of difference. You know, Operation Sindoor we had seen, and we had seen the kind of outcome which drones could bring. So why not something more fruitful? You know, when we are talking about the agriculture sector, I'm sure, you know, it's going to bring a lot of disruption here. Now, the way I'd earlier also mentioned, it involves digitization of land records, crop data, and supply chains. There's going to be a centralized AgriStack platform. Ultimately, the mission includes initiatives like Krishi Decision Support System and the Digital General Crop Estimation Survey. Next slide. So in conclusion, when we have talked about or spoken about all the schemes, you know, as Shri Sai Naresh ji had spoken, and the schemes about which I had shared some insights. So the objective is to provide efficiency, effectiveness, show India as a global leader in agricultural sector, bringing in cutting-edge technology and innovation in the agricultural sector, and boost the agri startup system. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing those enriching insights, where we discussed Credit Guarantee Trust Fund for MSME Startup, Indian Seed Fund Scheme, basic applications for documentation, and key aspect for digital agriculture mission. We truly appreciate your time and expertise. So now we will take the questions. So participant, if you have any question, please drop them in chat box, or also you can raise your hand. So we will unmute you and you can directly talk to our speakers. So now we will take up the questions.
Before that question and answers, I want to add one other more point. That is Startup India. So if you see the whole PPT, we are talking about the different schemes. Those are for the monetary benefit in terms of loan, except one scheme, that is the Startup India scheme, seed fund scheme, right? So that is the only scheme you can get a grant. So maybe if you are startup working in the innovation sector, especially in the agriculture or food processing, clean tech, energy tech, you know, med tech, whatever it is, whatever the domain you are working, you can availing the scheme, that is a grant from the almost 160 incubators in all over India, like Atal Incubation Centers or Technology Business Incubation Center or Rural Livelihood Business Incubation Centers or Rabi Rural Agribusiness Incubation Centers, you know. So every incubator, almost 160 incubators in all over India, they are providing the seed fund scheme. If any entrepreneur in this particular webinar, so in any entrepreneur, you know, emerging entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, in order to availing this scheme, this grant, this is for you. Because, you know, if you are in the idea stage or prototype or proof of concept or minimum viable product, whatever it is, in order to, suppose if you are in idea stage or proof of concept and, you know, pilot product stage, you can avail a 20 lakhs as a grant amount. And even if you are already registered enterprise, you have to launch the, you know, minimum viable product into the market. So you can get a 50 lakhs as a convertible debenture. That is not a grant. Again, they will give you, the incubator will give you the loan like part. Suppose, you know, in every company, they have a two aspect to raise the loan. One is the equity, one is the debt, right? Debentures or equity funding. So they will give you the convertible debentures. So any aspiring entrepreneur, so इनिशियल स्टार्टिंग में आपको लगता है कि मेरे को स्टार्ट करना बहुत मेरे पास नया आइडिया है, इनोवेटिव आइडिया, बिकॉज एनी स्कीम द बैंक विल गिव यू, once you are sustainable and success, they will give you the loan. Until unless success or sustainable, if you need a grant. As an emerging entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, you need to avail a grant from the government of India. So Seed Fund India scheme is the best scheme to availing the grant. So please look into. Again, इस स्कीम का हर बार आपको रोलिंग बेसिस पे हर इंक्यूबेटर का अपना अपना तरीका से निकलता है इनका एप्लीकेशन. So during that application time, you have to apply through their incubation portal, and they will give you every cohort, they will give you up to 5 to 10 startups, they will fund you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I can see some attendees have raised their hand, so I will ask my team to unmute Mr. Gulshan so that he can talk directly to our speakers.
Mr. Gulshan, sir, you may ask your question.
Sir, can you hear us? Yeah, Mr. Gulshan, sir, are you here? I think we can go for Shubhjit Patra. Kindly unmute Shubhjit Patra.
Hi, very good afternoon, panelists, and myself Shubhajit. I represent Bengal Bioscience LLP. Okay. Yeah, that is the limited liability partnership firm that I have a purpose. I am setting up a, this is the organization for setting up a agri clinic for the sale, wholesale, and retail of agri input like fertilizer, pesticides, and seeds. What the challenges that I am facing, the initial investment purpose. Can you please suggest what is the best possible way and the availability of the which one the best possible way to get the financial aid assistance so that I can start and run the agri clinic. That is my concern.
So actually, you are running the fertilizer and mushroom related activity. So if your comes under the food processing, if your comes under the agri domain, so initially you have to start from your bootstrap funds. Like you are collecting some money from your savings, or you are collecting from your friends and family. That is the bootstrapping. That is the best idea. Otherwise, you can go to the PMEGP, the Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program loan. So up to 10 lakhs, that's an easy. Otherwise, if you want to, value chain of the mushroom products or something, so you can go for the PMFME loan, Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Enterprises. So these are the three aspects you can do. But until unless initially you have to start it, sir. So you have to start something from your end, and you can get a traction. Like suppose I started with the 1 lakh rupee for my enterprise. So now I am getting every year I am generating the revenue of, every month I am generating the revenue of 50,000. Suppose every year 6 lakh with minimal investment. Then you can approaching the bank, because you have the formal structure of your business, because you are already established LLP. It means you are submitting the returns to the MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, every year, right? Yeah. Right. So further, if you have a 3 years of financial statements or audit returns, you can easily avail the loan as comparing to the new emerging entrepreneur, because they doesn't have any set of documents, right? But you have everything. So you can go with the, suppose you want to create the value chain, you can go with the PMFME, or if you want to do that integrated business like fertilizer and mushroom and all these things, you can go with the PMBGP, sir. Yeah, again, if you want to do something innovative, suppose in the process innovative or marketing innovative or business model is innovative, different set of innovatives. So then you can go for the grant, that is a seed fund scheme. Suppose you are calling from the Bengal, so maybe near IIT Kharagpur. So they have a different kind of incubation centers are established in the IIT Kharagpur. Maybe you can approach there. Otherwise, you can approach in the Rabi, Rural Agribusiness Incubator in Odisha. Even the manage itself also, they will give you the fund of RKVY-RAFTAAR. So RKVY-RAFTAAR through the 24 rural agri-business incubators in India. On the rolling basis, they can give you, if you are an idea stage, they can give you the 5 lakh is a grant amount. If you are already established player, you are already running the business, you can give a 25%. That is 25 lakhs is the grant amount. So maybe in the future you can go for the grants, but initially you can start with your own funds, or maybe you can go through loan, availing the loan through the PMEGP or PMFME. So that is the best possible way.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So we will take the next question. So, is there any designated person in various states for guiding and aspiring entrepreneurs? He's asking.
I didn't get it. Again, question, please.
Yeah, I can repeat it. Is there any designated person in various states for guiding aspiring entrepreneurs? He's asking.
See, the
Mrunali,
government
yeah.
of India. Yeah, earlier I mentioned that the government of India, every ministry, Ministry of Rural Development, or Ministry of MSME, or Ministry of Food Processing, or Ministry of Commerce, DPIT, Industry, every ministry, they have the mandate to set up an incubation centers in the agriculture institutes or engineering colleges, central universities or state universities. They are starting the incubation centers, right? Maybe that is Atal Incubation Center, Atal Community Innovation Center, or Technology Business Incubator, or Rural Agribusiness Incubator, or Livelihood Business Incubator, right? So they have different incubators in all over India. Maybe you can search to the Google. So what is the nearby incubation center is there? The incubation center, we have a CEO and full-time employees is there in the incubation center. Even incubation centers, they are providing the mentoring support to you, especially. So they have a different kind of mentors are there, in particularly domain mentors. Suppose in the agri food tech, so food tech mentors are available in this incubation center. You can get a mentoring from that particular, incubation center only. So we have in India, we have.
Yeah, so I think this question is for ma'am. Ma'am, how can we apply for startup loan as agri startup and bank are not aware of it? This question is for Dr. Tanvi, ma'am.
Okay, so basically, if you are if you don't want any loan from the bank, so go with the government grant support system. So maybe RKVY-RAFTAAR is the one of the best for the agri startups. Our Seed Fund India scheme is the best one. Another we were not discussed in the presentation, that is the TBI, Technology Business Incubator, under NSTEBD, National Science and Technology Board of India. So they have set up the multiple incubation that is called TBI, Technology Business Incubators in technology domain. Basically, they are called for the technology. But if you have a agriculture, agri-tech, suppose you are using the drone system or IoT or cloud computing, different kind of technologies you are using to solve the problem of the farmers or consumers, maybe you can get a grant from the TBIs. Though they have a different, support system that they are also providing the seed fund support, SIS, seed fund support system. They can giving the 5 lakh as a grant, or EIR, Entrepreneur in Residence. That is another support. They can giving the every month 25 to 30,000 as a fellowship. Suppose I am an entrepreneur, sir, I am giving my whole time to my idea, so I am not getting any monetary return on behalf of investing my time. So if you are an entrepreneur or doing something such a noble thing to the community or working wherever it is, so you can get some fellowship, right kind of fellowship you can get avail. Yeah. So these are the, if you don't want bank loan, you can availing these are the schemes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So Mr. Suresh is asking, PMEGP and PMFME schemes are eligible to get RKVY-RAFTAAR scheme grant.
Yeah, grant is different and loan is different. Suppose if you want to availing the RKVY-RAFTAAR, you can avail, that is a grant amount. If you want to go for the loan, that is a separate aspect. So both, but see, when you will get the grant, because you are going towards the risky venture. Suppose there is a lot of uncertainty in your idea, in your proof of concept, in your minimum viable product. So the government, in order to promote the system, they will give you the grant. Otherwise, if you are already started and you have a aware of that, my startup will 100% success, then go with the bank loan. For that bank loan, you can get a subsidy, either PMFME or PMEGP.
Yeah, yes, sir. So I will ask my team to unmute Nitya Nandan. Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. Can you?
Yeah,
So
please go ahead.
actually, I have a plan to start a coconut-related business. So, but if I am going to the bank, already my CIBIL score is too low. Actually, it's a long term in my father and my loans are bad condition. So my CIBIL score is under a bad. So if I am going to start, but now I am currently plan to start my own saving money to start the business. If I am get after starting a 6 month or 7 month or a 1 year, if I am going to get any loans related these schemes related this, it's possible to get the loan, sir, or else any necessary to get a CIBIL score, maintain the CIBIL score.
Okay, so for that query, you want to start a business on the coir, right? Agree, coconut. So,
Coconut.
if you are from the, I don't know where are you from. If you are from Kerala or Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, even Andhra Pradesh and Odisha, they have a setup day one incubation center called is Rural Livelihood Business Incubator. Rural Livelihood Business Incubator, right? So you can go there. They have a multiple set of grants are available with them, and technology is also readily available them. If you are if you want to invest initial like 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 3 lakh to start the enterprise from your end, you can get a very cheap technologies are available with the coir board. So they can assist you. They can give you the technology transfer. They can immediately start. Once you start now, so they can availing the loan. So before starting any enterprise, how can if I am the manager, bank manager, I cannot give you because I don't know you can run or not. So before that you can start and go to the coir board and meet the any scientist is there and meet the professionals in the livelihood business incubator for any grant or any support. So they can provide you. After that you can go for the loan.
Yeah, Dr. Tanvi ma'am, you want to add something on this question? I hope ma'am can hear us. Ma'am, can you hear us? Kindly confirm. Okay, so we will move to the next question. So next question is in agriculture marketing infrastructure scheme, for how many years of working capital is eligible for the loan?
So actually agriculture marketing infrastructure scheme, this is for the long term. Suppose you are, availing the loan of, 2 crores. So you can get it for almost 7 years.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, okay. So I will ask my team to kindly unmute Arun. Kindly unmute Arun, please. Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, please go
Yeah, I'm into hill produce and minor forest produce, actually coffee processing, pepper and all those things. I took a loan through PMFME. But the thing is like for about 10 lakhs of loan, we need to submit collateral. But I was not having collateral, so the bank loan was within 9 lakhs. So I was not having working capital also. From last 1 year, I managed, but in the last 6 months, what happened was like the loan account became NPA. So the thing is like, is there any possibilities where I can get the working capital in any other source? Because the credit score went down and everything got stuck. Now I can't do the business itself. Is there any option for that where is there any possibilities for getting a working capital loan alone? Because I have all the machineries and things.
Yeah. Sir, actually, your credit score is gone means I think bankers will not showing any interest to offer you any other type of loan or something. But in the meanwhile, maybe if your credit score in between in around 650 to 700, maybe you can go with the NBFCs, non-banking financial corporations. Maybe they will ask you to pay higher rate of interest, but you can avail to the NBFCs. Yeah.
Yes.
In the meanwhile, if your enterprise was established in the, maybe I don't know when you are established the enterprise, but if you're established in the last 3 to 5 years in the range, suppose 2021-22, Bangalore, they have a like coffee board is there,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
Coffee board, they have a Atal Incubation Center. Recently, in the 1 month back, they rolled the notification to supporting the startups who are working in the coffee sector, coffee processing, right? The CEO name is Praveen Hegde. Praveen. So maybe you can search the LinkedIn of the Praveen, the CEO of Coffee Board, Atal Incubation Center. Maybe you can get a loan. Not loan. You can get a grant, sorry. For initial grant. Yeah, maybe you can use it for your working capital need.
And the thing is, like, we are supporting tribal economic development, so that is there is any possibilities to directly is like a government grant or something is like where we want to look into it, like in that case, because
I think, I think the tribal department, the Trifood is there. Trifood from the central department, they have recently, even 2023, they launched the one government scheme for that is also look like a ODOP, one district, one product kind of thing. So they have a 15 lakh of fund for the tribal entrepreneurs. Maybe you can go to the nearby ITDA, Integrated Tribal Development Agency, in your particular area. So maybe you can get some information on the tribal loans.
So what is that IDDA?
ITDA, Indian Tribal Development, Integrated Tribal Development Agency, Integrated Tribal Development Agency. So they established it in 2023. They started aggressively. For every 300 tribal women entrepreneurs, they form a collective. So for each and every collective, they contributed 15 lakhs. Right. So if you are working in that particular domain, maybe you can ask for any support from the ITDA itself only. That is the best way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So next question is from Mr. Gulshan. As a microgreen startup, we need cold storage, cold supply chain, freezer, dryer. Which incubation will help in this?
For cold storage.
Also, he added that which scheme should I go, either SISF or AIF? Yeah, AMI.
AIF, because AIF is launched in 2020. AMI was launched in 2001 and 2, and then 2013 they revamped that scheme. But actively, if you want to work now, because they have huge funds in 2020 scheme, that is Agri Infrastructure Fund. So you can go. But if you want to establish a cold storage warehouse that need lot of huge capital amount, so I'm not suggested to go for the seed fund scheme or RKVY-RAFTAAR, because they are grants. They are providing only 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs. That is for innovative enterprises, right? So you want to establish the cold storage facility, basic infrastructure building, you can go with the AIF only. That is Agri Infrastructure Fund.
Thank you, sir. So next question is about, sir, in PMFME, we can get a loan up to 50 lakh and also get capital plus infrastructure plus construction. Which is the best loan for getting these three?
I cannot get it. PMFME and 50 lakhs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, the cap limit of the PMFME is 10 lakhs only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I
if you
also
want,
didn't get that.
if you want 50 lakhs loan to build a warehouse, whatever the infrastructure you want to construct, so go with the PMEGP is the best one. Right. PMEGP is the best one rather than PMFME. See, PMFME is basically for the micro food processing units, not for the medium or mega food processing. So this is for the, suppose आपके पास एक फ्लोर है, आपके पास रागी, different kind of millets है, so you want to start one floor machine, so you can get a loan of 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs under the PMFME, you can start. You want to rice milling, you want to start mirchi processing unit, you want to start a pickle unit. So these are the micro food processing units. For that, you can avail in the PMFME. If your capex is capital expenditure is more than 10 lakhs, you can go for the PMEGP itself only.
Yeah, yes, sir. So next question is, sir, regarding PMFMS, you mentioned about on DRP. Please give more information about DRP.
Yeah, so actually, PMFME, the nodal agency is the Ministry of Food Processing, and they have state agency. State agency may be Ministry of Food Processing भी हो सकता है, and some other departments भी, line departments भी हो सकता है. So they have established the one network in the ground level. They are called DRP. So that is district resource person to implement the scheme. So whenever you want the loan, avail the PMFM loan. सपोज आपने बैंक के पास गया, बैंक से मैनेजर से बात किया, तो इवन बैंक मैनेजर आल्सो डायरेक्टेड टू द डीआरपी. So basically the DRP helps to prepare a DRP, DPR, detailed project report. So वो prepare करेगा and उसको avail करने के लिए then you have to submit your basic documents, right? Then after DRP will upload the whole details in their PMFME portal. So जैसे PMFME portal से approval मिल जाता है, then district have one steering committee with the additional collector, something additional or joint collector have one steering committee. उस steering committee में after approval the DRP will issue through bank through issue the loan. So these are the activities of the DRP, district resource person. Maybe you can get a number of the DRP from their website only. Ministry of Food Processing PMFME website is there. So you can availing that person number from the PMFME this one.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I hope Tanvi ma'am is here with us. Kindly, I request both the speaker kindly switch on their camera too. So as we came to the end of the session, so I request them to please switch on your cameras. Yeah, I hope Tanvi ma'am can hear me. Kindly confirm, ma'am. So I think she is facing some
Maybe
network
some
issue.
network.
Yeah, yes, sir. So now we will conclude the session. So thanks to all the participants for joining us today. A special thank you to our speakers for taking the time to share such practical and inspiring knowledge. We also extend heartfelt gratitude to our director, Dr. Sarvanan Raj. His vision, leadership, and constant encouragement have helped us reach this milestone of 245th webinar, supporting hundreds of agri startup and entrepreneurs across the country. And also my entire team of Manage CIA for conducting this webinar seamlessly. If you have further queries, feel free to reach out to speakers. Their contact details are shared in the chat box. Do follow us on Manage CIA social media pages to stay updated on opportunities, success story, and upcoming events. And don't forget to visit our official website, as tomorrow is the last date for application for Agri and Cohort 13. This is your chance to be a part of India's most impactful Agri Startup Accelerator program. So thank you once again for being part with us for today's session, and stay inspired and keep innovating. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am part of this event as a speaker. First of all, I want to thank the whole manage team. As I am a serial entrepreneur, I approached RKVY-RAFTAAR आप लोग दिया नहीं. ठीक है. Fund दिया नहीं हमारा enterprise का. But again, thank you Usha Garu for approaching me for last week also. She approached me for the last webinar. Unfortunately, I'm not available, but this week I'm available. Thank you so much, Usha Garu. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.